What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh, and I am just an average Joe day trader. Well, it is Tuesday, July 29th, about 7:16 p.m. The market is about 45 minutes away from being closed. 8 p.m. hour for most stocks will continue to run through the 24 hours. But what a market day. I put a video out yesterday with basically the title of What the Heck Happened? Scratching my head. I had no idea what happened. And you could say that today continued that idea of what the heck is going on, right? But there is a lot of sentiment out there, a lot of things behind the scenes that are driving the market. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of saying throughout the last couple of days, it's just a pullback. It's just a pullback. So we're going to talk a little bit about the news and what's going on in the news and what we're seeing in the news, what's affecting the market. And then we're going to talk a lot about the actual stocks itself, some results, where I think they're going. And again, this is all my opinion, not financial advice. So don't buy anything because I said so. Don't sell anything because I said so. Make some educated decisions, your own due diligence based on your research and looking at things and understanding them for yourself, taking your own risks and everything and all that blah, blah, blah stuff that I always talk about. But I want to get right into this. So first of all, guys, you've got to know that my favorite guy today got up in front of that podium. Guess what it did to the market? Continue to push it down. Yep, you got it. Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And I listened to him live for a few minutes. He stood there and a lot of questions about, hey, when are you going to leave? Like, when are you going to retire? When are you going to resign? When are you going to step off? When is your time in office going to end here? When are we going to actually have some decisions about the economy that will help the people, right? And overall, he said, let me be clear. Everyone here wants to have a strong economy, strong interest rates, strong job growth, strong unemployment, all those things. He wants everything to be strong. And I don't disagree. I believe that's true. But if that's true, bro, get out of the way. Step out of the way. Seriously, because like the rates need to be cut. Part of what's going on in the market, in the stock market, in the real estate market, with people being able to afford and buy homes, all that has to do clearly, specifically to the rate. Okay. And if the rate is cut, more people can afford to buy homes and get out of these rental properties and all these circumstances are in trying to find places to live. Here where I am in South Florida, the real estate market is literally flooded with inventory right now. People can't afford to buy the houses. Even the neighborhood I'm in, right in, let's see, 2000 and what year was it? 2014. Yeah, 2014. I bought the house I live in now. Okay, nice house, nothing crazy. All right. It's a 4-2 2-car garage, nice, ranch style home. And back then we paid like 302 or 312, 302 for it. Okay. It's worth like 800 now. Okay. 11 years later, it's worth 800. Okay. But real estate's always a good investment, and real estate continues to grow and increase in value. But there are people that cannot afford an $800,000 house. I have to ask myself, if I had to buy this house today, how would I afford to pay for an $800,000 house today? And I might be okay, but it would sure hurt a lot more than paying $300,000 for a house and mortgaging that over 30 years, right? I mean, you're talking almost 3 times the amount. Okay, well, real estate is through the roof, and people just are struggling to find their forever homes because of the rates, because of everything that goes on. Homeowners insurance, homeowners associations, mortgage rates all play into it. Anyway, that's my housing real estate market soapbox. I want to get off of that one. But I want to talk a little bit about what's really causing a lot of issues in the market, aside from Jerome Powell. The trade deals, right, is back in the news, back on the table, and everyone has an opinion. Okay. And the Republican side has an opinion, and they're blaming the Democrats. The Democrats have an opinion, and they're blaming the Republicans. And the American people are blaming both of you. They're blaming all of you, right, for what's going on in politics and geopolitical in the market. Okay. And I get it. be mad that it's Trump in office. Be mad it's Biden in office. Be mad whoever's the next president. Okay. It doesn't matter. None of that matters in the stock market world. And none of that matters today in potentially what's going on with the market when we talk about all the negotiating and the cooperation and everybody working together on all the trade deals and the tariffs and all those things. Okay. Blame Trump all you want. I get it. Totally get it, guys. I'm not happy about a lot of it, and I'm happy about a lot of it. I'm on both sides of the fence because I'm neutral, and I believe a lot of things are great for us as United States citizens and for America, and a lot of it sucks for United States citizens and America. Okay, but the bottom line is that the markets basically are shrugging off all this Trump, trade deal vagueness. Okay, they're they shrug it off. Nobody's stressed out about it. It's at this point built in to what's going on in the stock market. And everyone understands that Trump's going to say, we're going to force you on this much of a trade deal. Here's what your tariff's going to be. And then 30 days later, 60 days later, 90 days later, whatever it is, it's okay, we're going to pause or suspend that. We're still working on that and whatever. Okay. Scott Bessent was literally, they just spent 2 days negotiating with China to come up with potentially this trade deal negotiation. And while we don't have any answers and we don't know yet, and Trump has said, hey, I'm not sharing anything until I have my briefing from Scott Bessent, they all say it went really well. Even China says, hey, the discussions are going well, but they're all pushing for potentially this 90-day continuation of a pause. Trump saying, I don't know if I'm going to continue it for 90 days. I may just tell them what it's going to be and we're going to move on from it, right? And so either way, any way you look at it, could have some potential, concern for the market. We don't know. We'll see. Other news, okay? Some earnings plays, right? SoFi did earnings plays today. Had an amazing earnings result. The stock went from about $20, $21 per share all the way to $25 per share. And it sat there up about $23, $24 per share. And it didn't move from that. And then it dropped out. And I've got another video coming in a little while, meeting later today, about SoFi specifically. But there was a reason why SoFi stock dropped back down below where it started this morning. And I'm pretty upset about it because I'm a long-term holder of SoFi and I was very excited about it. I almost sold everything out when it hit $25 thinking, let me sell out of it. When it drops back down, I'll buy the dip, get back into it, put it back into my long-term hold. I didn't because I was like, wow, this thing's holding at 24, high 23, mid 24. And I'm like, I'm going to stay right in it. And then I left it and came back a couple hours later only to see that it pretty much dumped. I'm going to talk about that in the next video and why that happened. What else is going on? Starbucks had a huge pop. Even though their sales fell significantly, they still had a good pop. AMD, over $180 per share. Huge, huge today. Okay. But anyway, bottom line, a lot of news, a lot of it surrounding tariffs, a lot of it surrounding Fed Chair Jerome Powell. There's just all kinds of things going on. And we'll see what happens. Big earnings coming up, guys. Tomorrow morning before opening, some big names. Generac, Humana, Etsy, Hershey's, okay? Harley Davidson, although they haven't done very good. Kraft Heinz, okay? Some big names there. The after close tomorrow is what I'm going to be watching. Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood. Did you guys know that Microsoft, this was interesting, I heard this today. Microsoft stock this year is the most sold stock, okay? Not buying into, investing into, the most sold stock among congressional leaders. Okay. And if you guys don't follow any of that, I tend to try to follow a lot of what Congress is doing. I love to watch when Nancy Pelosi jumps into something, buying something, selling something, because she's got some pretty good people working for her as far as her financial status. So Microsoft, the number one stock, the most sold stock among Congress. Think about that. What do they know that we don't know, guys? What do they know that we don't know? Anyway, Meta, huge tomorrow. Robinhood. Okay, can't wait to see Robinhood. My favorite, but I'm scared to death. In my long-term portfolio, I'm holding about 1,000 shares of APLD, Applied Digital. It's listed in here as Applied Blockchain. There was a leak saying that earnings per share is going to be pretty strong. It was, kind of, we don't know if it's true or not, but we're going to wait to see. And at the end of the day, it's a long-term. So it just might mean I'm holding it longer than what I have hopes to hold it for now, but at the end of the day, it's still part of my retirement. So we'll see what APLD does. Fingers crossed, praying to the Lord. Let's go. Qualcomm, Ford, ARM, big names. Thursday, CVS, okay, Norwegian Cruise Lines, MasterCard, big names on Thursday morning. And then another heavy hitter Thursday afternoon, Apple, Amazon, Coinbase, Reddit, Roku, Cloudflare, okay, big, big, big. And then on Friday before the opening, you got ExxonMobil, Chevron, okay, some huge, huge names to see what happens. If you guys don't know, I love to play earnings. If you don't know what that means, go watch this video right here and you can see what I'm talking about. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it doesn't. I'm holding Chipotle. I bought 30 shares of Chipotle when it was running at the bottom. It launched up and then it took a very hard drop. And now I understand that Chipotle is going through some consumer issues because people keep reporting they're finding worms in the lettuce. Maybe it's not washed enough or something. I don't know. I didn't personally hear that. I saw that today, and that might be the reason why the stock is holding low and it hasn't returned back to where it was before the earnings. But anyway, I'm in Chipotle. I'm bag holding Chipotle until it returns back above where I bought it in at, which was below where it was before earnings. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Guys, let's go to the charts a little bit. Let's just take a look and see what is happening. First and foremost, let's go to the watch list and let's get to the SPY. S&P 500 had a rough day. Now, this explains a lot as far as why the market continues to draw down. 157 of the company stocks that live in the S&P 500 are all tech stock, tech sector. APLD is one, NVIDIA, okay, although NVIDIA had a nice run today. AMD, all of them, depending on what's going on in the market, could have a good run up or down. But when a lot of them run down, it takes the S&P 500 down with it. And that's in essence what we've been seeing the last 2 days. Yesterday, Monday, you can see here pretty much most of the day run down, a recovery at the end of the day. Some nice recovery through the post and pre-market. But then as soon as the market opened back up, back to a dump with a little recovery and back down again. And so you could say over the 2-day period, we roughly were at about $638.54. And as you see now, we're at $635.44 in this aftermarket. And that's bringing a lot of those stocks down. Let's go to the average Joe Best Day Trade stock list. And you're going to see sort of some of what's going on here. GTX Mobile, not much going on there today. Ford, another second day of hard run down. I'm going to keep it open to here. SoundHound, same thing, hard run down. Listen, I don't mind these hard runs down because it just gives us a better buying opportunity to get in and buy the dips for it to go back up. SoundHound, Serve Robotics, APLD, BBAI, these are all ones I have in my long-term hold portfolio too. So always sad to see when they run down like this. But give the market some time to breathe. The S&P 500 has been at all-time highs, and so obviously you're going to see some of this, but it's a little bit concerning, not going to lie to you, going into August and September, 2 months known to be somewhat on a down before we get back to October. But let's hope the earnings plays from tomorrow night and Thursday night, big names, drive it back up, and I think it will. Serve Robotics, also 2 days of a down. APLD, you can see that as well. Now, APLD had a nice recovery day. APLD was a day to make some money in. I kind of sat on the sidelines today, honestly, because I was mourning over my SoFi, and I didn't touch it. But again, great opportunity to make money. Could have gotten in at $9.80, ran it all the way up to a high of $10.33. This could have been a very nice, profitable day in APLD today. And I understand some of the guys in Discord and some of the guys that I trade with did make some good money running APLD today. So good for you. CX Mobile, again, I keep saying cement's never going to go away. 2 solid days in the cement business. SLDB had a nice recovery day after somewhat of a volatile day, but came down, ran back up. IAG Gold, again, gotta love the gold. Nice run today. Good chance to make some money. Could have gotten in here at about $6.87. Got out of it somewhere around $7. Pretty good. BBAI, like I said, on a down. Grab, which is the Korean Uber delivering food and delivering people, had a decent run up. You could have made some money midday, and look, it's doing somewhat nicely in the post market. And then Wolf, WULF, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Wolf. It's getting ready. I believe it's going to have a breakout. Look into that $6, $7 range. I'm literally just in it long term, waiting for that to happen. Sell out, wash, rinse, repeat. We'll see what happens. Somewhat of the day trade new one. So Oklo, not a great day for Oklo today. HIMS did have a nice upward momentum day today. ASTS had a nice recovery mid-afternoon, running up. SMR also had a nice bit of an up run up. QUBT, same thing, following trend. Run, nothing to write home about. If you were up here and came down, you sort of just went, horizontal and then dropped at the closing. We talked about APLD. NVTS. Listen, there's a lot of YouTubers out there right now saying, buy this stock. This is going to be the stock to explode. I don't disagree. My opinion, I think NVTS is going to continue to run. And you have to consider when you look at the daily on NVTS, where did it come from? Okay, look at this, guys. All right, on the daily, you're talking about basically, in the $1, $2, $3, $4 range. Then we got here, and it had an explosion from a low of about let's see, whatever this is, $1.83, let's say, all the way up here to high $8.30, up here $8.83. So it's coming back down. But guys, I think this one's going to turn and keep going. NVTS, nice stock. I'm happy looking at it at this dip. Probably going to be buying into it in the next couple days as I continue to watch it. BBI, we talked about. TMC, let's get off the daily. Okay, back to the 15-minute. Let's open it up a little bit. You can see that TMC also had a hard drop, and Planet Labs PL had the hard drop, followed the uptrend with everything else, and following suit. Mid-price stocks, Rocket Labs, okay, dropped hard, 42.83, came back up, sitting at 43.70. Ionic, hard drop, sort of followed that little bit of an uptick. CCL, pretty much, although it looks crazy, had a nice run up today. SoFi, let's not even talk about that yet. And Intel, INTC, sort of volatile, couple opportunities to make some money, but at a low of $20.39. So, guys, remember, be careful with your money. Make sure you're not trading anything that you don't have for your mortgage, for your car insurance, your health insurance, to put food on the table for yourself, for your family, whatever the case may be, guys. Know your risk tolerance. Don't spend money in the stock market that's not really yours to spend when you have bills to take care of. Getting in the stock market and putting your money in there is not a get rich quick scheme. A lot of YouTubers out there are like, oh, do this, play options, you're going to get rich in no time. Okay, this is not that easy. You have to know what you're doing. Learn candlestick patterns, learn support and resistance levels, and how to chart. Okay, big things. Do your due diligence on companies. Don't pick companies that are short tenured, that don't have good, track records, earning track records, volume, market cap, etc. Just be careful, guys. Going into months that are down, you want to be extremely careful and watch what you're doing. But absolutely 100%, as a retail day trader, you can make money. And I know there were some comments made recently on some of my videos that say day trading is a waste of time. You can't make a lot of money. I beg to differ. Got the accounts to prove it. At the end of the day, if you understand what you're doing and you chart support and resistance, okay, you're right. We're not mind readers. We can't tell which way the stock's going to go. You 100% cannot, but that's where stop losses come to play. Get in a play, set your stop loss 5 to 7%. If it goes down and drops, you lose out on that play. You've let some go. You win on the next one, okay? But there's a great chance to make a good amount of money if you know what you're doing, if you have patience, and you don't stay in them, too long. Take profit, see profit, take profit. Don't overstay your welcome. All right. Anyway, guys, have a great night. Looking forward to giving you an update in the morning. I can't wait to see what the market does at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I'm looking for a gap up. I want some of these bad boys to run. I know you guys do too. Let's get rich together. Josh out. Peace.